This video is about the loss of a soulmate, someone or even a pet that you felt particularly close to. And it's not the most easiest video to really do. I can't offer you specific um, solutions really to this, the pain that you might be feeling right now due to the loss of a loved one. So all I'm really doing here is just sharing what's helped me in my process. I lost my father last January, and he was a dear, dear soul and a soulmate for me. And it's been, a long journey to get to where I feel today, which is like, having turned that corner of, the grief cycle where it was constant for a while. So I feel like I've turned enough of a corner. I'm not saying that it still doesn't arise, which it does now and again, but I've turned enough of a corner, and I wanted to share with other people out there who may have just lost a dear, dear soul, parent, sibling, partner, child, pet, companion, animal companion. And I just wanted to share, and I know your pain, and that this is something that every single person on this planet is going to have to go through at some point or another. And so I just wanted to share a few things. So I feel that the depth of pain that we can feel when we lose a soulmate or whatever, it's because of the depth of the connection that we had with that soul, the depth of love, the true soul connection. Because throughout our lives, we will lose a lot of friends and people and different, there will be loss. We hear of, when someone's passed over from a friend, but it doesn't affect us as much because we haven't had that personal, intimate connection with someone ourselves, with that person that they've lost. But when we go through it, on our own or ourselves with someone that was very, very dear to us and played an intrinsic role in our lives as well, it becomes much, much more painful when that being or that form disappears. And I am coming from more of a kind of spiritual perspective as well, having seen things in my lifetime and experienced what I would call or refer to as the psychic experiences, or what people would refer to as psychic experiences, where it feels like I have seen or had those connections with those that have passed over, that I've known. And that's always been helpful and insightful on my particular journey, and helped me as well in the healing process. But not everybody has those types of experiences. So really I'm just sharing, what's been true for me on my journey. So yeah, two souls that, danced a dance as part of this lifetime. You danced together with this soul and became intertwined energetically. And so therefore, when that soul transitions out of the form that you identified with them, it feels very painful, because it feels like, well, they're not here. They were here, but now they're not here. But my understanding and experience is that, they were in form. We are all here in form, but we are spirit in form. So when someone transitions, if we've identified with the personality and their body as them, then it's much more painful, because now they're gone and they're not here. But in my experience, through having many, many animal companions that have passed over, I had pet rats and they only lived for like 2 years. So I was in this constant cycle of, seeing a baby go from a baby rat go from baby to old age, to the old woman or the old man that they were. And this has really opened my eyes to the whole birth and death process, and also beyond death. So I have had these connections that have been real to me in my experience, subtle connections, subtle understandings and experiences that have happened in the dream world, in the vision state, or even just in the day to day. There's been times when I've experienced something else that is not normal. It's not part of our normal everyday experience. And these experiences or connections or communications, as I would call them, has shown me a different perspective of life and death. And so I don't see the physical disappearance of form as the end. As I say, I feel like we are spirit in human form. And so, and because of the kind of unity connection I've had with all of life, many different forms, it's like the unity consciousness is that, you know, we are all life, the essence of life in form. So I can look at a bird or an animal or a dog or a baby or another human, and to me it's all the essence of life. It's all God in form. So these understandings have obviously helped me, and I'm just sharing because maybe there's a little something that you can take away, that may bring some relief or may ease your pain, or may not, but it's just, I felt to do this video. So the other thing is just the appreciation of the love that you did share with this being when they were here. Really appreciating, instead of feeling and going over the loss and the lack of them being here, is to focus on the bounty, the beauty and the appreciation of the fact that they were here, they were in your life, and that you had all these beautiful times together and beautiful connections. And that never dies. That never dies. It's always in your heart. It will always be with you. So they weren't just their physical self, they weren't just their personality. Their spirit is free. And even when a loved one passes over, you may notice, you may feel like they were in the room. You may feel a presence, or if you believe in signs, you may see feathers and just different little synchronicities that could only be from them, something that they're communicating with you. You might hear a song on the radio, and it's just like at that particular moment and that particular time, it's like, how could that be? How could that be so synchronistic? I was just talking about them, and then this song came on the radio. So there's lots of little things like that. And whether it's them or just spirit or our higher self or something that is beyond our understanding, letting us know, bringing us these signs to bring us, to help us with the healing process, because these signs do help with the healing process. Or that's been my experience anyway. Every time I had one of those visions in my dream time, or connections, or it felt like they were sharing their bliss state with me, and allowing me to come in to that blissful state of being that they were in. It was like, that was a healing. It was very, very healing as well, because you wake up in the morning and you've experienced something that just isn't part of this 3D reality. And so that connection with spirit, and knowing that they were a soul and spirit that have gone on, they never die. They don't die. They can't die, because energy can't die. And I think it was in the film Avatar, and I always remember when I think one of their community members died, and the character said, oh, energy is just borrowed, we have to give it back. So it's like the physical is borrowed, but the energy always is, and we do return to where it came from. So in that sense, we do go back to where we came from. But the energy itself, the essence of life, can never die. It's in you, it's in me, it always is, because life itself is never ending. It's never ending. The universe is infinite and continually expanding and continually creating. And new babies are being born every second, as well as, people dying. It's just this continuous cycle. And my understanding is that there isn't even a beginning and an end. There is no birth, there is no death. It's like they're just the 3D representations of what we consider as the beginning of our life, because it's the beginning of what we feel is our physical existence. But what if that's just part of, like, a whole wheel, that you come into this physical existence and then you leave this physical existence? But when you're in the non-physical, you still are. So just because you're not in the physical existence doesn't mean that you don't exist. And these are some of the spiritual teachings as well that have come through the ages, that you always are. The I am, the awareness, can never die. It always is. And the more we awaken to that sense of our I am, the universal I am, the more we can see through the veil of this 3D illusion, this 3D reality, and know that what we connected with in a person was never just their physical being. It was never just them talking to them and interacting and laughing with them and all these things. Yes, that's how they expressed through the form, but we know that there's much more to it. And if you've seen the lifeless body after someone's passed over, it just really looks like a shell. They're not there. It doesn't even look like them. They're just not there. So forms come and go in this 3D reality. The forms are all coming and going. It's just like a kind of conveyor belt of, everybody lining up, coming into this 3D existence, and then going to the airport and going home, going to the next thing. Sorry, I said airport because I can just sit. I just felt like that was everybody lining up, grabbing their bags, their luggage, and then going into the physical world. It's almost like, yeah, we grab we bring our karma or our lessons with us that we're going to unravel through this 3D existence. And then, we work through it, and then we go on. So forms come and go, but the essence of life always is. It is always within you. The heart connection, the love that you felt with the being, whatever form it was, whether it was a human or animal form, whoever, the essence of that can never die. It always is with you. It is you. It is you, because there is no separation. The illusion, the great illusion, is that there's billions of people on this planet, but there's no one here really. There's just one infinite creator expressing through all these different forms, and it's all life. It's just all the sacredness, the beauty of life. And so the more we can just appreciate that, that existence is here for us to enjoy this experience. But there will come a time when it's our turn to move on to that, into that other realm as well. But while we're here, we can awaken to that inner essence that I am, and remember the love and the beauty and the connection that we had with all the people and the plants and the animals that passed through our life, that we were able to connect with. It's such a beautiful thing that we can journey together. We can have that dance, of the souls. We can have the dance of the souls with all these beautiful spiritual beings that come into the form, that come into our lives, so that we can experience and grow and evolve together. And most importantly, love, share love together. Thank you for listening, and I hope it's been helpful, this sharing with you. If you're interested, there is a free meditation on my website at anabrese.com. And if you feel like you'd like to work with me as a spiritual mentor, you can find information there as well on what I offer. I do offer a free soul clarity call as well if you want to chat with me about anything that you feel you'd like to unravel in your life, if you feel stuck and you need to move on. So there's stuff on there. Okay, that's enough for now. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day. I appreciate you, and namaste.